me and Drake stepped back and he looked at me and he was like, yo, we did it. Like we sold out 3 nights back to back with the world boss. It was like a very down to earth moment.
Beautiful.
And right
Yeah.
there and then I said to myself, what more can I do? And I just
Mm.
know that there's more in store. As long as I remain humble, other doors will
Yeah.
open. And this is just the beginning, you know?
Wow. Oh my gosh, man, I feel to shed a tear. What a beautiful story.
I time can't don't know.
It's on your mind. Make we have a time. Hey,
If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please remember to leave a rating and review. And if you're listening or watching on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and share this episode. Now grab your tea, coffee, or a glass of wine, and let's talk the things. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk the Tings, where we discuss music, film, fashion, and self-improvement. And this week, we are talking the things with renowned DJ and someone who I believe has really been a part of the significant impact that dancehall has had, especially these last couple of years. The one and only Ricky Platinum. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. It's nice and sunny, it looks like in your
Yeah,
background.
yeah, it's nice.
I love that. I love that for you. For the first part of our show, we like to do a little icebreaker, right?
Yeah.
And it's called That No Sound Safe.
You're getting right into it.
Right. So it's nothing crazy. Basically, I'm going to read messages or social media posts that listeners sent in.
Yeah,
And if you think it sounds crazy or a little bit concerning, you just say that not sound safe and
yeah.
explain why. And then if you agree, you say you agree and explain why. Nothing
Nah,
crazy. First person said, Jamaicans will give you advice, then add, me not tell you what to do still at the end, just in case.
I agree. That happens all the time. That happens all the time.
I think that sounds safe actually, because listen, you now go come back and tell me it's my fault if something
Only,
goes
only,
wrong.
a, only, a, only a real friend will tell you something like that.
Exactly.
So you have to big up that real friend or whoever decides to say that. You
Yeah,
know,
that
you didn't
sounds
hear it
safe.
from me, but still, take my advice.
Exactly. Take heed,
Yeah,
but make your own decision at the end of the
yeah.
day. The next person said, sometimes just sharing can seem like bragging when the people you're sharing with aren't fulfilled in their own lives.
I agree with that. A lot of people want to see you win, but not win more than them.
Hey, talk up. It's true.
Yeah, yeah. Big up my friend Prince Royal. He always said that
Yeah.
a lot of people have it out for you, like,
Yeah,
just
it's true.
especially people that grew up with you and know where you're coming from, to see
Yes.
you strive and elevate more than them. They love to see it, but as long as it's not more than them, they don't like it.
Ricky, you come to
Yeah.
talk the things today,
But
and I
after
love
talk,
it.
what the name of the show? What's the name of the show again?
Let's talk the thing.
So make we talk then.
A few more. The person said, as an English teacher, I can't believe I ever cried over a man who didn't understand the difference between TO and TOO.
That not sound safe at all. Listen, whoever that is
I can't manage.
need an extra year in school if them graduate, or extra year or two in school if them did graduate. But you can't in
Right.
this society. You can't have a problem with the two. No pun
Exactly. At this point in life,
intended.
come on. That's like grammar 101. Like you should know that.
Yeah, you have to know that.
The next person said, just because you want to see somebody eat doesn't mean it's your job to fix their plates.
I want to see everyone eat, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm a type of person that wants to see everyone eat, but remember, you can't save everybody. So I draw a thin line, and the thin line is simple. The thin line is very simple.
Hmm.
I will help you if you want to help yourself.
That's
If you don't
fair.
want to help yourself,
Yeah.
then I don't want to help you, because if I just broad out, just say, yo, I don't want to help somebody without the explanation of saying that. A lot of DJs come to me and be like, Ricky,
Hmm.
how can I become a DJ like you? And the
Hmm.
first question I will ask a DJ is, what have you learned from me? If they can't tell me three or four or five things that they learned from me, I say,
Mm,
all right, then this is what you do. You go study Ricky Platinum and come back and ask me for help and
mm,
try some of the things that I've done. If it don't work, then I'll try to help you. But a lot of people, they just see successful people and just want
yeah,
what they have and don't even think to say, oh wow, they went through this. Oh, he used to do this. He made a sacrifice and jumped over here, or he's doing this and he's marketing himself this way, and he's just having this event on his own and he's making everyone come free and creating a platform for himself.
yeah,
But I'm not gonna try that. But I'm gonna ask him, Ricky, how can I be as successful as you? And the question would always be, what have you learned from me already? You
yeah.
have to
I
want to
think
help
that's
yourself
fair.
before I try to fix your plate for you to eat.
That's something we talk about a lot on here. Persons are discerning between persons that just want access to what you've earned
Yeah.
and then feel entitled to that access once you've gotten
Mm-hmm.
there versus persons that have been there supporting you and maybe nobody knew you like that or before you
Yeah.
us and then you bring those persons with you. I think that's something that I think is hard as you get more and more successful is to
Yeah.
discern who is who, you know?
Yep. That's why I
Yeah.
draw that thin line.
All right, a couple more. The person said, people raised on love will do anything for you, but people raised on survival will do anything to you. Know the difference.
Taught the things them.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. You agree with that?
Absolutely, but you don't
I
want to
just
talk yet. I want you to say
I
your
just I yeah, I agree. When you talk about survival, a lot of people
piece.
that survive don't say we survived. They would rather say I survived. And when you talk about survival,
Mm.
is always comes in like a solo mission.
I think you also look at life differently when you're
Yeah.
raised on love versus survival. The last one,
Hmm.
the person said, to witness people firsthand move out of wickedness is a different type of clarity. When you see the envy, the malice, the neglect, the calculated intent with your own eyes, it changes you. You stop giving grace because some actions aren't mistakes, they're reflections of someone's character.
You have two ways
Mhm.
to go about it. You can either go about it,
Mhm.
see I'm blind, here and deaf. Um,
Ah,
the amount of friends that I would probably lose if I made them know that I know that them that like me is
listen.
a high percentage. Sometimes what you know is probably best kept with you as long as you know.
Right.
I believe God sees everything, so I think that
Yeah.
you, as an
Oof.
individual, should just move with love, same way, because nothing beat loves, and it's like you can't counteract wicked with wickedness.
There you
So
go.
I just believe that you could just sit back, relax, know where someone's stance is. The best thing is that you know where their stance is.
Don't be prejudiced. Just be good and be humble, and so that you can be strong. Because if you don't do that, you're going to change the world to be a worse place.
If you come down to somebody's level and you try to meet them where they're at, if you're not like that, they're going to be better at it. And then
Yeah,
now what? Now you're down at their level, which why would you want to be down there? That not sound safe. Now we're going to really talk the things. And I always love to ask my guests where they started from and how they became who they are today. But before I do that, I have to give you a little bit of an intro. DJs, especially in dancehall culture, I think play such a significant role because they rotate different types of music, right? And I think that's something uniquely powerful. I think that DJs have the capacity to really move energy. Like you have to know how to, in my opinion, read a crowd before the crowd even understands themselves, right? So
yes,
you decide when the music switches, you decide when the bass drops, when the room should erupt, and really when a moment becomes a memory. You know, like when someone can say, oh my gosh, I remember when Ricky played this song or when he switched from this song to this song, it becomes like a memory, right? I think you are one of the DJs that's helping to carry the sound of dancehall and reggae from Jamaica to the world stage. Your work lives in the intersection of tradition and evolution. So to me, it honors our culture, but it's continuing to build the genre and like push it forward for the new generation of listeners,
yeah.
right? So I'm really proud of all the work that you've done. I've seen how
Thank you
your
so much.
journey has,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I've seen how your journey has taken you from local stages to international platforms, and you have recently shared spaces with some of the biggest names in global music, performing alongside Drake and the Vibes Cartel.
Word boss.
But beyond beyond the headlines and the stages, I think that what makes your story compelling is your discipline, right? I'm very big on discipline, and I really pay attention to that. Being the daughter of a musician myself, I've
Hmm.
seen, so many great musicians have such a long career and such a long trajectory, and it's because of the discipline that they had, and
Yeah.
so I can just tell that you've spent years learning rhythm, understanding people. I think that's something people take for granted that DJs have to do. Before the stages and international crowds, what were, would you say, like the earliest sounds that shaped your identity and want to be a part of music?
I think a lot of childhood memories in a Jamaican household
Hmm.
kind of confined can be like very familiar with this story. I have a twin sister named Nicola. So my mother and father, they'll just be fooling around. My father will be the DJ. My mother will be
Okay.
the backup dancer. And of course, like father, like son, I'm like, hey, I'm the DJ, and my sister is the backup
The
dancer. And
backup dancer. Love it.
from that early tender age, I fell in love with it, and I just felt like,
Mm.
I want to just be a DJ. That's what I see my father doing. But he wasn't a real professional DJ. He was just fooling around. He had everything, the whole DJ setup and everything. He passed when I was
Mhm.
6. So
Oh,
after a while, my mother continued the tradition of us cleaning and we just playing club in the house. And I just, took on the responsibility. I'm like, well, I got to be the DJ now. I got to be
yeah.
the one to run the tune. And my mother would leave me with the records, and
Hmm.
I'll pick out the songs that I want to hear and all this
Yeah.
in the car, listening to the cassettes of like Stone Love, Bodyguard, Metro Media.
Hmm.
Um, I'll just mimic the DJs and just understand that people would listen to the DJs and they would instruct the crowd what to do. So at that young, tender age, I just formed the love for DJing and got older.
Oh.
Was in was it no middle school. My uncle, he had a sound system called Platinum Sound, and he used to play out. And every time he go play out, I'll just tag along with him. So
Hmm.
there was a Sweet 16 coming up, and my uncle, he would just buy records. He wouldn't even study it, but I was the one to study it. So it was a Sweet 16 coming up, and I told the parent, like, I know a DJ. You can use him. He's my uncle. So my uncle came and set up. Everything was going good until the kids start requesting songs. So my uncle is like, no, me not have that song there. And then when the kid will leave, I'll go to my uncle and be like, yes, you do. You got this song. It's right here. So after 3 requests, and my uncle couldn't find the song, my uncle said, you know what? You go play the music. So I started to play the music. After the event, another mother was like, oh, I want this DJ to come again and DJ my daughter's Sweet 16 or my son's Sweet 16. And from there, they was just requesting, we just want this little boy to be the one to play for us and all those things. So house parties, they used to keep, my uncle used to keep apartment parties.
Hmm.
So he was just busy looking and wanted to dance up with the ladies and have fun with the ladies. And I was just so focused. I was like, I want to play the music. So I
Hmm.
remember I had one CD that had 22 tracks. And for the whole night, I just mixed from 1 to 22. When I reached 22, I went back to number 1 and then I just kept mixing. But for some strange reason, the people just had a good, good, good time. So
Yeah.
back then, I wasn't too in the MC, and I used to just mix the music.
Okay.
I had a friend in high school, Hyper Rich, and there's another friend named Shalando. They was already a duo. They already had their own DJ thing going on. So
Hmm.
I decided to invite them to play on my uncle's sound system. So it's 3 of us now. So
Okay.
from time to time, we'll just rotate who does what. Life happens. I start having kids. Dutch
Uh,
start having kids, and their focus wasn't really too much heavy in the music. But I took it upon myself to just step up and start to do more and start to learn the MCing style, and I start to learn the MCing with the mixing at the same time. And from there, it was just history. Like people would always say, "Yo, we want Ricky Platinum for a party." And born in Brooklyn, growing up in Washington D.C., and having a Jamaican family background, it was a no-brainer that I was going to be versatile. So, from the go-go music to the dancehall to the hip hop and R&B to the souls, I had it all down pat.
I love that. And where is your family originally from in Jamaica?
They're from Clarendon.
Oh, you know what? I knew it. So I don't know if you're familiar with Tootsie Bert.
Not really.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Tootsie Bert is the lead singer of Toots and the Maytals, and he's
Oh, I
also
think
from
you. I'm a play.
Clarendon.
No, wait, no man. Me think you mention a place in a Jamaica. Of course, I'm
No,
familiar. Of
no.
course, I'm familiar.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's my uncle.
yeah.
So he's from Clarendon. So I asked that because I wanted to know if there's any memories of like music that you used to hear as a child, maybe visiting your family there.
So my auntie, she's a party lady. She was a party promoter. She used to always bring Stone Love
Okay,
to her
okay.
events every December. Everybody just look forward to having
Got
Stone
you.
Love in the community. And
Love.
my biggest memory is telling my auntie, I want to play on the dance. I want to play on the event. So
Yeah.
before the events, the big events, they'd usually have like kids treat in the day.
Hmm.
So my auntie was telling the box boy, like, yeah, my nephew right here, he's going to play later on. So the box boy looking at me, these are the box boys from Stone. I'm like, you really think y'all go play up on the big sound like this little boy, like this little American
Like,
boy?
what are you talking about?
Like, what are you talking about? I remember my auntie them, they can't defend me because they never heard me play either. So
Right.
so the word got around because when I first dropped in Jamaica, the word got around. Ricky say, "Hey, my DJ now," because growing up in Jamaica, no,
Yeah.
growing up and visiting Jamaica year after year, I was a different character. One year I was the boy that had all the little play toy cars, and then the next year I
Yeah.
was the boy with the yo-yo, and then the next
Okay.
year I was the boy that had the basketball. The next year I was the boy
You're
with
the family member
football,
from foreign.
and then all of a sudden I come back. He's the DJ. Back in the days, they had the cameraman, but whatever the cameraman was
Yeah,
showing,
video life.
the video light, whatever he was showing, it was on the projector. So everybody looking at me like the cameraman even knew what was going on. I was like, yeah, this boy walking to the stage with him CD, that man feel like say him I go play. So it was a joke to some of them. What
Jeez.
they didn't know that in America, when Stone Love used to come to America,
Hmm.
they used to play alongside me and they gave me my ratings in America. So now when the
Oh,
big selectors them came
yeah.
and see that it was me, them dip on the mic, them stop the music and say, Ross, who that my foreign friend? Ricky Platinum. Yo, we are gonna play 10 more minutes and Ricky Platinum I go play. So from then
What?
it's like the place erupted. They saying, yo, Ricky
Because
about
you
to
got that
represent.
forward.
I got that forward and I
Whoa.
played, and the gun salutes was going on and off, and my auntie ran up
Yeah.
there and was like, "Oh my gosh, Stone Love, stop playing so good because they keep on shooting in the ear." And then the Stone Love members was like, "It's not us, it's your nephew Ricky." So my auntie said, "Go on, my nephew." So it's like
God.
a turn of
That's
events. It was a
great.
turn of events there, and the most remarkable thing that happened that night is
Hmm.
Stone Love was playing, and we was going hour for hour, 30 minutes to 30 minutes, 15 minutes to 15 minutes, all the way to like 9 a.m. in the morning. Country dance there already.
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
hottest rhythm was
yeah.
anger management rhythm at the time.
Okay.
And Stone Love them had all the songs on the plate.
Hmm.
Stone Love them called me up on the stage and say, "Yo, Ricky, we are gonna work." And I put on my headphones and they gave me the CD to play, and it was anger management rhythm, straight dub plates, and it was like a sign of respect for me to
Yeah.
come all the way from America, and they gave me the opportunity to play their dub plates and work alongside their MC. So big up the whole of Stone Love, Diamond, G Fuss, Fire
Wow.
Us, Google Mental, big up them all straight.
Wow, that's amazing. You see, people don't know these
Yeah, people
things.
don't
Like,
know. If you want to see a part of it is on YouTube. I put it on YouTube like years ago, long, long
yeah,
time ago.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. And when you look back at those early days and even that story you just told, like, what would you say was the biggest lesson that all of that taught you that you're using now, like now that you're at the, I won't even say the height of your career, because I always feel like there's something to look forward to, but now that you're here and you're an adult, what would you say that that taught you?
To just remain humble, because at the end
Mm.
of the day, when it comes to music and it comes to DJs and it comes to
Mhm.
selectors, you have to mention Stone Love. For me to
Of
go to
course.
Jamaica
Yes.
and be among Stone Love Base and gain
Mhm.
respect in Jamaica at a country dance, like in the tone dance,
Yeah.
sometimes they might feel lock off the dance early, but to
Mhm.
go toe to toe with these big sounds, meaning I have to DJ 1 hour. Two
Mm.
Stone Love DJs have to DJ for 1 hour. Then I have to DJ next hour. Then the other two DJs that didn't DJ the first hour for
Yeah.
Stone Love have to come and DJ for an hour. And then me come back and have to DJ for an hour. And to do that to 9 o'clock in the morning and to gain that respect so early in my career, it
Yeah.
was like remain humble because you could drop on your face. Because imagine I took that moment and just became a hype person and said to everybody like,
Mhm.
Stone Love gave me my ratings, and I'm coming back to America with the knowledge that they already gave me my ratings. It's like, what more am I to do if them big giants they give me ratings? The biggest lesson I've learned is to just remain humble, because humbleness will bring you a long, long way. Such
Absolutely.
That's the reason why every time I see a Stone Love on an event, and every time I see a bass that they see, and the last time I seen Sky Juice, them have to stop and just say, yo, big up Ricky Platinum. And for legends
Mm.
to do that, you have to be humble.
Yeah.
They're not going to give you no ratings after them give you ratings if you're hype.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people can learn from that, because something that we have in our generation that they didn't have is social media. And I
Yeah.
find that purports this idea of things like we were talking about earlier, just coming easy, and that you're working with one artist and now because of that artist that's why you're big, but people don't know the story prior, that
Hmm.
has gotten you to this place. And I think that's why these conversations are so important, because someone can see that, like you said, your success now and think, oh, you just play songs. Like, what's the big
Hmm.
deal? You know what I mean? And not,
Yeah.
that's why I said that in my introduction. It's more than just playing songs. Like, if everyone can do that or could do that, then everybody would be a DJ. And I know
Yeah.
we're in a time where everyone thinks they're a DJ, but you know what I mean? Like a
Yeah,
real,
man.
actual
Yeah,
DJ.
yeah.
Back to dance hall. I always felt like dancehall has had, and you talked about Stone Love being at the top of that, an incredibly strong lineage.
Hmm.
Where do you see yourself fitting in with that tradition?
I'm grateful to know that almost every day there's a DJ that's writing me long
Mm.
paragraphs telling me how much I inspire them and how much they look up to me and
Oh,
asking
wow.
for opportunity. I've built something here in the DMV area where everyone knows, yes, it's Ricky's event. Ricky parties them was always nice.
Mhm.
But I use that opportunity also to showcase upcoming talents.
Mhm.
Um it wasn't a situation where it was coming that the older generation or the older sound systems
Mm.
would say, hey, here's a new DJ, take a listening ear. It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
It was more like, yes, this is Stu and Love and we are the bodies, and yeah, well, this is Metro Media and we play from Yes and Ray and
Yeah.
we are in the place, and then you have BSDC from way out in the country. It was more like, I would say, like a competition
Oh,
with love. It
okay.
was more competition with love that everybody had
Yeah.
to just represent themselves to the fullest, because you have to still bear in mind that back in the days,
Mhm.
when you go to events, sometimes it was based off of the sound system. It was like, yo, we are going Stone Love, or back in
Mhm.
the days, we are going to listen Jara. It don't matter who the promoter is. Back in the days, it was the sound systems representing to the fullest that a
Mhm.
man can pay their whole money when it goes to entertainment, to the DJs, to the selectors, to the sound system, knowing that the people them was coming out for them.
Yeah.
Nowadays is the promoters putting on different events, and um there now we have more DJs than like new sound systems coming out. Like if somebody wants to join a sound system right now, it's not like they're gonna build a new sound system. It's like they're gonna join a
One
system
that
that's
already
been there
exists.
already. So right now it's like I'm coming from a sound and I'm that selected DJ, solo DJ that has a generation of DJs that looks up to me.
Mm.
I hope they can learn from me to just help each other because that's all I do. Like I have a lot of DJs that's under my umbrella where whenever I keep events, they just know say, oh yeah, we're gonna DJ at Ricky Platinum's party, or they know
Yeah.
they can ask me, and I'll
Yeah.
say yes.
Okay.
Cause I'm done boss already. So
I love
yeah,
that. That's good. And that's important, right? Because somebody helped you, somebody
yeah.
gave you a forward. So it's important that you do that. But going all the way back to the Dat Na Sound Save segment, I'm sure that it's important to you that the persons that you give that forward are wanting it for the right reason.
That's when I say I draw the thin line because
Yeah.
if you notice, of course I'm popular, but if people take the time to sit down and study me, they know that
Mhm.
when I come to the parties, I come there to work. And when I'm done work, I be leaving. Like I just come there to work, do my work, and
That's
I'm
so
gone.
true.
So a lot of
That's so
people
true.
would see the popularity aspect of it and say, I want to be just like you, and don't realize like to be like me, like you said in the beginning, you have to have discipline. If
Yep.
you don't have
Yep.
discipline, you can't be like me.
I like that. Yeah.
If you
Talk
don't
up.
have discipline, you're gonna be in a lot of mix up.
Yeah. That
When
na
somebody
sound safe.
mention your name in a room, they're gonna have
Yeah.
nothing but bad things to say if you don't have discipline.
Though this is our first time speaking,
Yeah,
I have witnessed that on two occasions.
yeah,
So the first time was Vibes Cartel concert.
yeah,
By the time the concert was over and I got backstage, I was talking to CJ. You were gone.
yeah.
So I didn't have the opportunity to meet you then. Then Brooklyn, the other Vibes Cartel concert, I was with my friend Omar, Major Seven. And as soon as the concert was over, I think he called you or something. You were gone. I can just attest, as someone that doesn't know you personally prior to this, that that's actually true. Like you're not just saying that.
And that's what Vibes Cartel and TJ them they really commend me. They really
Mm.
like to work with me because CJ is my sister.
I love
CJ
CJ.
will give
Gosh,
me
man.
as much
What
tickets
a good person.
as I want for these events. And me personally, I'll have these tickets and I'll have access to backstage and then
Mhm.
TJ and Carter will be like, who you there with you? Who you here with? And then I look to my left and I say, I'm just here with my video guy and my camera guy. And they
Okay.
look at me different because it's like for a man that can have so much access and can
And you don't have an
invite
entourage.
and have this entourage and this bag of people. I really
Right.
like to be around people that just want to work. So that's
Good.
what keep me, ready for what's next. Like you said, discipline.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
man, that's right. I'm not just talking, I'm talking the real things.
the things them.
So one of the remarkable things about dancehall, and I spoke about it earlier, is its global reach. And speaking of our dear CJ, this past year, as we saw, she was very instrumental in reminding people of that. And I'll say
Hmm.
reminding because I think like back in the 90s, although I was a child and probably shouldn't have been listening to half the music by my parents' standards, but it was more popular, I would say, back then. And I think last year and into this year that she's shown really the value of dancehall music and reggae music, the fact that stadiums could be sold out, and obviously the main crux of that being Vibes Cartel, right? And so you now have had opportunities to share stages and moments with artists like Vibes Cartel who operate at that international level. So I'd love for you to share your experience about being on those world stages because I would imagine that it's a little bit different and that certain things are required. And like I talked about earlier, the psychology of having to read the room. It's one thing to read a literal room versus
Hmm.
like a stadium, a sold out stadium at that. Because, once you part with Vibes Cartel, everything is sold out.
Well, big up to CJ because she's certainly elevating the culture and just
Yeah, she
keeping
is.
it to that standard where it needs to be.
Yeah.
The thought of and sometimes as a DJ you have to kind of like sway the crowd and bring them back to reality and let them know some remarkable things. Um, when I say remarkable things, to walk out on the stage and tell people,
Mm-hmm.
start them up. This is how I started it off at Barclays, to get
Mm-hmm.
them in a frenzy. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are here in the Barclays and we sold out in the
Mm-hmm.
name of dancehall.
Mm.
So people would
Yeah.
just look around and be like, wow, make the people them understand and say, yo, we making history. Once you get them in that moment and make them understand, so they're a part of history, and that
Mm-hmm.
we're upholding the standard of the culture, you
Yeah.
have them right away.
Yeah. So true.
Reggae music, dancehall music is music that will live on forever. So sometimes
Forever.
people will be like, "Are you gonna do this forever?" I'm gonna say, whenever Bob Marley "One Love" or "Don't Worry" expires, then you can ask me that question because there's no
Mm.
way that a person like me that plays music can be out of a job when music never dies. So we'll just bring me back to the point that the people in them love the reggae music, them love the dancehall
Yeah.
music. So being on the stage in front of a arena full of people that
Mm-hmm.
love dancehall and reggae music, and that's my forte. When I went to Amsterdam, and when I went
Oh.
to Amsterdam with Cartel, so it's like, okay, let me
Mm.
study and make sure that when I go to Amsterdam, let me play the song that they don't even expect me to play. And then when we left from Amsterdam and went to Paris,
Mm-hmm.
same thing. They like the is there's a style of music called shatta. It's like it's called shatta music.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I think I'm saying it right, but that style of it's like a flip of dancehall. They love it
Mm-hmm.
over there. So to go over to Paris and
Mm-hmm.
know that, okay, boom, them like this style of music. I'm on the stage before Cartel, hyping up the crowd is easy with the regular song, but when I play their specific
Mm-hmm.
type of music that they love, it gets them more crazy. With
Mm-hmm.
Cartel too, with his set list, when he go to certain places, he makes sure that he includes songs that when he's in Guyana, that he knows that the Guyanese girls them love. There's songs in Guyana that the Jamaican girls them they don't really too care about, but
Okay.
he does his research. He has discipline to know that
Wow.
when I'm in Guyana, there's songs that I have to perform. When I'm in
Yeah.
Trinidad, there's songs I have to perform. When I'm over
I
here, there's
love
songs I have to
that.
perform. He has
Yeah.
discipline. He's watching the crowd, and it's easy to read a room of people that love dancehall and have discipline at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. I think your association with him and playing with him has been a really powerful moment in your journey, just for the sake of, like you said, those international stages. And he's somebody that, as you said, is very disciplined and someone whose influence on dancehall culture is really undeniable, in my opinion. So, what did it mean for you personally to meet and share the stage with him and DJ for somebody you also admire?
So big up to Cartel and his whole team. And when I say his whole team, it's like if you get one sprinter,
Hmm.
like a regular sprinter, that
Yeah.
fits Cartel's whole team. And I say that to say that he don't travel with a bag of entourage. Everyone that's there, from the Lenny Matic to the Scatter to the TJ to the MC Nuffy to the ZJ Chrome, they're there for a purpose. They are there to work. Everyone that's around him is there for work,
Mhm.
and I really admire that about him. So big up to Cartel. And like there was a moment where I said, what, like it's like a familiar moment when I said to myself, what more can I do? Big up to Boom Boom. That's his quote. Sometimes even
Okay.
busted players, he be like, "What more can I do?" Big up Boom Boom. Yeah, big up Boom Boom, because that really means that. So, to some people, they be like, "Oh, that's a nice
Absolutely.
tagline," but to me, it means a lot because
It means
sometimes
more.
you do something remarkable. It's like, "What more can I do?" Is the question you want to ask. So
Yeah.
going back to the time that Stone Love gave me my ratings, in my
Mhm.
head, it's like, "Dang, I made it." But if I stopped there, I would have never met Cartel because I would
You
have felt
see
like I
how
was
God
too good.
works?
I
Yes.
would have felt like I'm already doing it. I'm already man. So there's no way, there's no reason for me to even work harder. So meeting Vibes
Mhm.
Cartel, I'm thinking to myself like, wow, like what more can I? Like I'm on the stage with Vibes Cartel. Um, the chemistry between us was 100.
Mm.
I went to Canada. That was my first time working on the stage with him. So usually I
Okay.
just play the music before,
Ah, that's
and
true.
me and
Okay.
ZJ Chrome were just, vibes of the place, and then me and MC Nuffy were vibes of the place. But
Yeah.
on this trip to New York City, unfortunately, Nuffy couldn't be there. So I'm there. No conversations prior to the show. I'm
Mm-hmm.
there. I introduce Vibes Cartel. I'm walking back, and I'm like, wait, Nuffy not even here. So I'm like, okay, this is my opportunity to step up
Yeah.
and hype up the crowd as Nuffy would do. And
Yeah.
the chemistry was good because I know his punchlines. I know what all the songs is about. I know when to hype up the
Yeah.
crowd, when to sit back, and then at the end of the show, them say, Ricky, nah, man, you're going good, man. Nah, lie, we love work with you.
Oh,
So
yeah.
at that moment, like I said, I'm like, what else could happen? I'm up there working with
Yeah.
Vibes Cartel, and I'm thinking to myself, like, this is gonna be a good thing for me because I'm like, yo, Drake is gonna be on the stage and I'm gonna be so lit because I know I'm gonna
Mhm.
find a way to get a picture or be involved. And then Drake came out, but the funny thing is, Drake came out in the crowd. He had his own
What?
DJ in the crowd, and his DJ was just playing his songs and he's just performing next to his DJ. And they shined the
Yeah.
light on him, put the camera on him, and I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, my opportunity gone. Like, damn, there's
Mm.
no way I'm gonna make this happen.
Oh, because he was in the crowd
He
instead
was
of
he
coming
was
on
in the
stage.
crowd. He didn't come on the stage.
Got you.
And
Okay.
then it was like close to the end of the show. I looked to my
Yeah.
left. I seen Drake. As soon as he
Yeah.
came out, the first thing he did, he walked to me. He dapped me up. He said, "Boy, you bad. I was here from early. You bad." And then he went to on the stage and greeted Cartel. So at that moment, I'm like, "Yo, mommy, I made it." so
Hey.
So, as the night was going on, Cartel was performing his last song, and Drake made that walk like, yo, this is the song that he's gonna, that he's ending off with. Let me, embrace Cartel. So while he's walking to embrace Cartel, he embraced
Mm.
me too and was like, yo, let's go. And then we took that picture on the
Wow.
stage while we was all three of us hugging, and me and Drake stepped back, and he looked at me and he was like, yo, we did it. Like, we sold out 3 nights back to back with the world boss. And I'm like, bro, 3 nights with Dancehall. And we just talking. It was like a very down to earth moment.
Beautiful.
And right
Yeah.
there and then, I still said to myself, what more can I do? And I just
Mm.
know that there's more in store. As long as I remain humble, other doors will
Yeah.
open. And this is just the beginning?
Wow. Oh my gosh, man, I feel to shed a tear. What a sweet story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. First of all, it makes me go back to like your original story, right? And if I'm being honest, what's playing in my head is, what more can I say?
Yeah.
I know you're
Okay,
saying, what
singer.
more can I do? But that's playing in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Um, see, when you love music, you just get different
Yeah,
songs in
yeah.
your head.
Mm-hmm.
But if you would have thought that was your peak, maybe
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't have been as disciplined. Maybe you would be, I don't know, really show off and you'd be really cocky, and persons like Vibes Cartel and his team wouldn't want to work with you. But even when you talk about taking that opportunity, using it to your advantage just to show your skill rather than panicking, like, oh my gosh, I've never done this before. Like, what
Mm-hmm.
am I supposed to do? Because Nuffy also has like his own spirit as well. So it's like, you have to get the crowd as hype, but in your own way, right?
Yeah, in my own way, yeah.
Because you're a different person. So having to do that like on the fly, that's also a skill. And then even as you're telling the story about Drake and realizing in that moment, like, man, I might not get to meet him. And you were thinking like this, like you were thinking a picture,
Yeah.
right? But for him to embrace you,
Mm-hmm.
say what he said, Drake doesn't have to say that to
Yeah.
you.
Cause
He could have
he
gone
could have
straight
went
to
straight.
Cartel.
Like when he
Yeah.
walked, the way he walked out, all he had to do was walk straight. Even when he was leaving, he was
Mhm.
walking past with his entourage, and he looked and he see me. He stopped me. He's like, he had to say bye. That whole moment was just magical.
What I would implore persons to do that are, watching this or listening to this and want to be where you are, is to look at these moments and see why it doesn't pay to be full of yourself or to
Hmm.
shun people when you think that they're not somebody important, right? Or you
Hmm.
think that they're not, at a certain level that you might think is popular, because you never know. You don't want someone to just want to be around you because of that. The impact of Drake for me, and you can tell me if you feel the same way, is that he often credits Jamaican music as a major influence to him, right?
Yeah.
So from your perspective, how did that feel, seeing the culture you grew up with resonate so strongly with someone like Drake?
Drake has a thing called OVO Fest.
Right.
OVO
Yes.
Fest is every year. Everyone looks forward to it, and he'll bring out different celebrities and special guests and all those things. And that happens in October.
Okay.
Last year, Drake decided that he's going to dedicate his whole OVO Fest
Hmm.
festivities to
Hmm.
one person who he believed was his god in music, Vibes Cartel. So for him to even think about saying, not having one night, not having two nights, but having 3 nights of Vibes Cartel in his home
Crazy.
city, you have to understand how much ratings he has. And mind you, Drake performed only one of the 3 nights. The rest of the
Oh,
night,
really?
the rest of the
Okay.
nights, Drake was just enjoying the show. He wanted to at
Oh,
least, pay homage and let the people know he was there and just give them
mhm.
respect, and just people was anticipating to see Drake, but the moment was all about Vibes Cartel and Dancehall. And he got on the stage, let Cartel know that he used to be outside of the club passing out flyers and wanting to go in the club because he wanted to hear Vibes Cartel music, and he let him know that Vibes Cartel is a big inspiration to him. So for all of that, having your whole city out at that arena 3 nights back to back, and
It's incredible.
no special guest of a hip hop artist, just straight dancehall 3 nights back to back. That's a big thing. So I respect the Drake for that.
What does a daily commitment actually look like to you?
Fortunately for me, I've mastered marketing myself,
Okay.
which leads to me having different brands to showcase my versatility. That's one, and to
Hmm.
also give people that love to support me a avenue or a channel to say, okay, we're gonna go support Ricky. A lot of brands from Remember This, which is an old school dancehall bashment. Fetish
Hmm.
is a soca party.
Hmm.
Yachting is like that dancehall vibe, straight dancehall. Then you have
Hmm.
Vibes Festival, that's Afrobeat, soca, and
Oh,
dancehall is like a festival. So with those
okay.
brands, I always keep myself very busy when it comes to those brands, because it's like at the end of the day, everybody wants to go out and have fun, and I
Hmm.
have the luxury of picking dates and saying, okay, I'm going to do an event this day. I'm going to do an event that day. And for
Hmm.
me to have to do that in DC at any given time, and people will come out and they love it, they done messed up by making me know that I can do this in other states. So now you know how complicated this is, because now,
Yeah.
even if I say I have a weekend off, I'm thinking to myself, like, how can I leave money off the table if I can just go over here? I can go to
Hmm.
Atlanta and throw an event and get the same response, because the people them love the concept, or they love the idea of just being outside partying at a Ricky Platinum party. So a daily structure is really around these events. Like right now, what's currently hitting and what's currently in demand is a Ricky Platinum
Hmm.
at your event. People will often
Yeah.
say
I love that.
everybody has their time. No, you have your time.
Oh,
Not me.
right.
DJs that's telling me that, yeah, man, right now your time. Right now is my time is when I say my time is. Because the same
Exactly.
person that's telling me that I have a time limit on my success is not
Yep.
having a free party for the people them to say, last week I went to Ricky Platinum party and me just love all the man just look out for me. That free party just gave me a next year of relevancy. Like people is gonna keep on
Mm.
saying, Ricky, Ricky, Ricky. The point is that in these time and age where marketing content run the place, and I have content and marketing for days. Like I could talk about the Drake and Vibes Cartel situation for the next 10 years. Because now I can ask you a question for a DJ. What could be bigger than that right now? What can a DJ do bigger than that right now? I'm talking about a dancehall DJ.
I can't think of, yeah,
Exactly what me I try to say. My
yeah.
time can't don't know.
When you think about your legacy, and I don't mean that just in popularity, but
Yeah.
what you've been able to do for the culture, what do you want Ricky Platinum's contribution to dancehall to really represent?
I want to be the guy that the people them remember as the humble DJ that's at the top of the chain that still looks out for people. I just want them
Okay.
to just remember that because at the end of the day, it's not all about just me. It's all about the culture. And there's a lot of people that genuinely love the culture and want the culture to elevate. And it's not a one man show, but I
Mm-hmm.
want them to
Absolutely.
remember, although Ricky was at the top of his game, he
Mm-hmm.
chose the humble way, and that's the reason why he's in it so long. There's a lot of talented DJs and there's a lot of talented selectors, a lot of talented sound systems, but
Mm-hmm.
ego and the pride and the lack of discipline is not going to get them far. I just want them to just remember me as the humble kid that just made it from DC. Let's not forget that. DC is not a
Mm-hmm.
place where people will be like, hey, I want a DJ. Let's look at a DJ from DC. They want to say, I want a DJ. Which bad DJ from Brooklyn, New York, or which bad DJs from Miami? I represent the DMV proudly. I want them to understand, say, yo, bad DJs are in that area.
I think it's important that people recognize from this conversation that the way you treat people matters.
Yes,
And not just the way you treat people publicly, right? The
yes,
way you treat people privately. Because I believe, and you said it also, so I would say I agree with you, God sees everything.
yes.
And I think that your mentality of the we versus I, and you said it earlier in the That Na Sound Safe segment,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's also, I don't know if you recognize it, but I think that's also what continues to propel you because people can feel that
Yeah.
before you even say it. I think it's very easy for someone to say, I believe in working together and I believe in community. Like that has become a word that unfortunately is now rubbing me the wrong way because I've heard so many persons use community and, for the culture, and you're around them long enough, or you see how they move and you think, wait, no, you're not. You're only for the community when it's public, but you
Mm-hmm.
did this a certain way, or you kind of moved in a certain way. So I think that your energy and how you present yourself, that speaks before you even have a chance, like to open your mouth, and that people recognize that because someone like Cartel, I've only met him one time, but he seems like a very intuitive person. And for him and his team to say that about you, I'm assuming that they felt the same thing.
Yeah. I don't want the people them to feel like it's too late to change. I want to confess. I was one of those people where I was selfish. I can give you an example. When I was younger, I used to go to Jamaica, and the first thing somebody would do is beg. And sometimes I'll hide because I'm like, yo, I know they're gonna beg me. So this
Mm,
changed my whole perspective. This changed my life. This changed the way I think. This example.
yeah.
I was at the house, my auntie's house. I was there
Okay.
by myself, and it's like I normally lock the grill to make it seem like I'm not there, but this specific time, I didn't put the lock on the grill. So now people was coming up to the house and like, yo, we know he's here, knocking on the door. I'm like, oh my God, they're here. Open the door.
Yeah.
Not one after one person come, our next two come, our next three come, our
Jesus.
next four come. And I decided, listen, I'm gonna sleep this off. Like nobody's gonna bother me. I went into the
Yeah.
room, went to sleep. Somebody knocked on the door and said, Ricky, make it 5 grand. In my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't get away from it. And something said, Ricky, give him 5 grand. I reached in my pocket and I gave the boy 5 grand. I'm there,
Mhm.
mad, vexed. I'm like, oh my gosh, they just keep bothering me. Like, what's going on? All of a sudden, I start smelling some curry chicken. I was like, I love curry chicken. Well, I smell the curry from the kitchen
What?
in the room. I'm like, oh my god. So I wake up now. There's about
Yeah.
10 people in the living room playing video games, and I'm like, What y'all doing? I'm like, finally, man, you wake up, man. I'm like, what y'all was waiting on? They was like, nothing, man. We did cook some food, you know. So I looked and I seen 10 plates, nothing on them, nothing in the sink. And I said, why I didn't eat? They said, oh, if we eat and the boss now wake up. And I'm like, the boss. And at that moment, I realized sometimes a simple yes to a question could like change your whole perspective of life. And like from that day, whenever ask me for fact, I say, yo, take 10 grand. See, I take 10 grand. I'm like, yo, because that little moment right there, they felt good to
Right.
know that they all got something to eat with the 5 grand, and the respect they had for
Yeah.
me is like, yo, he's the reason why we're gonna eat this food. We're not gonna eat without him. So they was like, yo, we didn't want to wake you up. We want to wait until you finish sleeping, and then we all can eat. And at that moment, I'm like, yo, a simple gesture of kindness can lead you like a long way. So from that
Yeah.
moment, every situation, before I even say no, I have to sit back and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if they never really needed, then probably would have never asked. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that's how I just deal with life, and that's how I deal with people with just love and respect. Cause you never know in the future. You don't want your if you fall flat on your face, you don't want people to be like, that's what he get. If I fall flat on my face, the first thing people will do is like, how can I help him? Because I remember
Right.
he helped me. That's how life's supposed to be.
Ricky, you're not gonna make me cry on this your
You
podcast,
didn't
you
cry.
know.
Let's talk. I said cry.
But no, it's funny you say that because I said it earlier before you even told this story that how you treat people matters,
Yeah,
right?
the whole podcast was good Ricky, good Ricky, good. Ooh, wonderful Ricky's. But I wanted the people them to know before you see the Ricky now, there was another side of me that had a dirty mindset and selfish mindset. And
Yeah.
like I said, I just don't want people to think it's too late to change.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a few rapid fire questions, and I would love for you to answer with the first thing that comes to mind. Okay? What is one dancehall song that instantly turns any crowd into like bashment, like mash up the place?
Vibes Cartel Street Vibes.
Hey, somebody get ice.
I want people to go watch the Zimise River clip that I have on my Instagram page, and you will understand why.
Okay. Do you start from the party gets drastic,
No.
or do you start from a
No,
different
no,
place?
I for going at the story. No, no, man, for going at the story because
Okay, you have to know
you
because
draw
I
that
need to
part there.
know.
Zimise River last year, August.
Hmm.
I was playing and I had to play by myself because I didn't have an MC or a mixer. I played by myself, so I had to move the DJ controller from on top of the stage to like the lower level of the stage.
Okay.
I'm playing the music, and the music cut off.
Hmm.
Dead silence. And I'm like, oh my gosh, dead silence now. And then for the next 5 minutes,
Hmm.
no music. 10 minutes, no music. 15 minutes, no music. And then
That does sound
we're
safe.
looking around to see what's going on. But
Yes.
one guy realized there was a plug unplugged, and he plugged it up. So what I did was turn off the CD machine.
Hmm.
And so they like, yo, what's back on? I'm like, nope, because no, me of the crowd in a way like, yo, there's no music. The party I got done. So I wasted 10 more minutes. I turned it back on without nobody seeing, and I had the mic in my hand. And I'm like, yo, what can I play? What can I do to make the place go crazy? So my thing now was like, which song to play now? Remember, I've been at the song lineup before I said it. And then when the
Okay.
party go say, yo, Jeffrey, right? You know, say, I got a party. So
Oh
everybody heard
gosh.
Cartel's voice first. And
Hmm.
then you hear the do, 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 the party get shot. You have to go look at that video. I'm gonna send you the video. You could probably
Okay.
clip it in.
Okay.
When I say that, the whole like to this day,
Yeah.
I
Now that
just was
you're
in
saying
Ochi.
it,
I was just in Ochi, and people said to
I
me,
feel
"Was
like
that
I've
Ricky?
seen that.
The party cannot be over because you don't play yet." They
Yeah.
remember that time. So Street Vibes is definitely the song I would
Now
run with.
that you're explaining it, I feel like I saw that video somewhere else, like on my For
No,
You. But send it
it
to me
went
anyway.
viral.
But
It went viral. It was
yes, I
people
probably saw it and
with
didn't even
fire in the
realize.
air and all of that. It went viral.
Jeez. Wow. I'm not surprised it's a Vibes Cartel song, but yeah,
Yeah.
incredible. Okay, next question. A place outside Jamaica where you felt the strongest love for dancehall culture.
Guyana.
Really?
Hmm.
Wow.
Guyana,
Dancehall is very
Guyana,
big there.
Guyana is like Jamaica on steroids. Guyana people them, it's like
Yeah.
they have the natural vibe. Sometimes in Jamaica, the people them have to get fresh and enjoy the party for like a 2 hour before them getting at the vibes. Guyana,
Mhm.
as them hear one song, them ready.
Hey.
Big up swingers.
I have a lot of Guyanese friends and yeah, they're full of vibes. So I can see that for sure. Nice. Okay. What is, although I think I know what you're gonna say for this, but I'll ask anyway. What is a moment in your career when you thought, wow, I cannot believe this is really happening?
I'm not gonna say that. I know you. No, I'm not gonna say the Drake and the cartel moment because
Okay, that's what I
I'm not
thought you
gonna
were
say
gonna
it. I'm not
say.
gonna say that. Big up to Ron Burke. Ron Burke was one of the first promoters to give me my big shot uh,
Mhm.
on a big show. Dream Weekend it
Okay.
was. I asked Ron Burke, I said, listen, man, I'm an upcoming DJ. I want to make a name for
Mhm.
myself. I'll fly myself to Jamaica. I want to make a name. And Ron
Mhm.
Burke said, come on. And I went to Igloo and listen, when I say mash up Igloo, I
Hey,
mash
yeah.
up Igloo. So from that year, I just kept playing Dream Weekend year after year until people just start to
Nice.
get to know me and all over people is booking me in Jamaica. So the moment that I DJed at Igloo for Dream Weekend was a moment where I said, wow, I made
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Okay, three more. What is one or who is one artist that you would love to collaborate or work with in the future?
Barris.
Uncle Barris.
Uncle
Nice.
Barris.
That leads me to my next question. Who are your top five old school reggae artists? I'm talking like 70s, 80s, even 90s, I would say, but like reggae
When you
artists,
say
real reggae.
reggae, you have to Romain Virgo.
Okay, so current. That's a current
That's
one.
one current. I'm going from the
Yeah.
current to Tyrus Riley.
Okay. Oh, I love him.
I
That's
know.
my
Let's
fave.
go. Let's get down in the nitty gritty. Of course, Barris,
Yeah.
Sanchez.
Okay.
I never realized how much I love these group of artists until I seen them earlier this year. No, no, last year. Late last year. Morgan Heritage.
Oh, I love them
Yeah.
as well. For the last question, when you step off the stage after a really good set, what's the first thing you usually feel? Like relief, gratitude, adrenaline, something else?
Honestly, when I get off the stage after a good set, and most of my sets are good anyways.
Yeah.
Um, I feel a sense of relief because
Okay.
I call myself the vibes god. Like the energy that's in me, I feel like I be transferring all of the energy that's inside of me out to the people. Them so like by the time I'm done, I'll be like, like like I gave them my all.
Yes.
Cause
So, this is a part of the show where I do my thank you and I remind everyone every time about it with the crying. So, try hold it. Again, what more can I say? Ricky, one of the things, there's many things, but one of the things that stands out in hearing your story in totality is the way that music has been both, I'd say, a craft and a calling for you. Dancehall to me has always been about expression, right? I think that for dancehall and reggae, but particularly dancehall, it's about rhythm, carrying the stories, the struggles, and really the celebrations
mhm,
of Jamaican culture into the world. And DJs like you play a special role in that because, as I said earlier, you're not just selecting songs, you're really shaping the atmosphere and connecting generations through sound, right? Which is a skill in and of itself. And for young DJs that are watching your stories, it's to me a reminder that influence isn't built overnight,
mhm,
as you very thoroughly explained through your stories and your examples, but it's built through discipline, through consistency, respect that you have not only for the culture, but really for yourself and your willingness to keep learning. Thank you so much for coming to share your journey with us today and really for continuing to carry dancehall forward
mhm.
with that same passion and purpose that you had as a child. So, yeah, thanks for coming to talk tunes with me.
Thanks for having me. keep doing what you're doing, keep elevating, and if
Thank
you need
you.
some links on some people for the podcast, just let me know.
Will do.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.